Have you ever looked at a piece of fruit and thought, it's natural, it's healthy, it must be good for me, only to find out later that it's doing your body more harm than good? If you're over 65, you might be surprised to learn that some fruits, yes, even the ones we've been told are superfoods, can quietly work against your health instead of helping it. Now, don't get me wrong. Fruit is one of nature's best gifts. It's sweet, colorful, and packed with vitamins. But here's the catch: not all fruits are created equal, especially when it comes to senior health. Some can spike your blood sugar, upset your digestion, or even interfere with your medications. And others? They're absolute game changers. They fight inflammation, support your memory, help with blood pressure, and keep your muscles and bones stronger than you might expect at our age. So today, I want to have an honest, eye-opening chat with you. We're going to talk about 4 fruits you really should stay away from, yes, even if they're in your kitchen right now, and 4 fruits you need to eat more often if you want to stay sharp, strong, and energetic well into your 70s, 80 seconds, and beyond. Let's start with one that catches a lot of people off guard: grapes. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I've eaten grapes my whole life. I get it. They're delicious, easy to snack on, and they look innocent. But here's the thing: grapes are one of the highest sugar fruits out there. Just 1 cup of grapes can pack in over 20 grams of sugar. And unlike the sugar you might stir into your coffee, the sugar in grapes is hidden behind a healthy image. But your body still sees it the same way. Now, if you're in your 30s and running marathons, your body might burn through that sugar pretty quickly. But for those of us over 65, that sugar hits differently. It can spike your blood sugar levels, add to belly fat, and over time, contribute to insulin resistance. If you're managing diabetes or trying to lose weight, grapes might be doing the exact opposite of what you need. Not to mention, they're often sprayed heavily with pesticides, unless you buy organic, and even then, moderation is key. Now, compare that with blueberries. These little blue wonders are what I call brain berries. They're low in sugar, high in antioxidants, and they've been shown in multiple studies to help protect your memory and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. You don't need a handful the size of a salad bowl. Either just a small portion a few times a week can have a real impact on brain health and inflammation. Here's something a lot of seniors don't realize: as we age, our bodies handle sugar differently, and that includes natural sugar from fruits. The older we get, the more careful we have to be about how much sugar, even the healthy kind, we're putting in. Another fruit that's often a surprise on the danger list is pineapple. It tastes amazing, especially on a hot summer day, but it comes with a sugary punch and something else many folks don't know about: bromelain. While bromelain can have anti-inflammatory effects, it can also thin the blood. If you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, eating too much pineapple can increase the risk of bleeding or bruising. It's the kind of interaction that sounds minor until it isn't. On top of that, pineapple is acidic, and that acidity can irritate the stomach lining and make acid reflux worse. So, if you're someone who deals with heartburn or has a sensitive stomach, you might want to steer clear or only eat it in tiny amounts. Now, let's turn the page and talk about one of the best fruits you should be eating more of: kiwi. Tiny, fuzzy, and often overlooked, kiwis are a powerhouse for digestion. They contain a natural enzyme called actinidin, which helps break down proteins and makes digestion smoother. A big deal for those of us who don't quite bounce back from a big meal the way we used to. Kiwis are also high in vitamin C, even more than oranges, and they're low on the glycemic index, meaning they won't cause big swings in your blood sugar. Plus, they're excellent for the immune system, which, let's be honest, becomes more important with every passing year. 1 or 2 kiwis a day is all it takes. Just slice them open and eat them with a spoon, skin, and all if you're feeling brave. That skin is actually full of fiber. Let's talk about one more fruit you might want to avoid: dried fruits like raisins, dried apricots, and banana chips. Now, I know dried fruit seems like a handy snack. They're easy to carry, last a long time, and taste like candy, and that's exactly the problem. Drying fruit concentrates the sugar. For example, a small box of raisins might seem harmless, but it can contain as much sugar as a candy bar. And because they're so small, it's easy to eat way more than you plan. Not to mention, many brands add extra sugar or coat them with oil, and that combination of high sugar and unhealthy fat can lead to blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and inflammation. That's not something we want more of in our golden years. Now, if you want something sweet and chewy that won't hurt your health, consider switching to fresh pears. Ripe pears are gentle on digestion, especially if you deal with constipation or IBS. They're high in fiber, particularly soluble fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar and lower cholesterol. And unlike dried fruits, they hydrate you rather than dehydrate you. Think of your body as a classic car. You wouldn't fuel it with the cheapest gas or ignore the warning signs on the dashboard. It's the same with what you eat. Even the foods we've been told are good for us, like fruit, can either keep your engine running smoothly or slowly wear it down, depending on which ones you choose. Let's keep going, because there are still a few more fruits we need to talk about, both the ones to avoid and the ones that deserve a front row seat in your fruit bowl. One fruit that often sneaks under the radar is mango. It's sweet, tropical, and feels like a treat, and that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Now, don't get me wrong, a slice of mango every now and then won't ruin your health, but if you're over 65 and dealing with blood sugar issues, arthritis, or even just trying to maintain a healthy weight, mango might be doing you more harm than good. Mangoes are packed with natural sugar, some of the highest among common fruits. One medium mango can have up to 45 grams of sugar. That's more than a can of soda. And even though that sugar is natural, your body still has to process it. For seniors, that means a spike in blood glucose levels, more inflammation in the joints, and possibly even extra stress on the pancreas. Not ideal if you're watching your A1C or dealing with prediabetes. On top of that, mango is what we call a sticky fruit. That means it clings to your teeth and feeds the bacteria in your mouth, increasing the risk of cavities and gum disease. And let's be honest, dental work isn't something most of us look forward to in our retirement years. Now, if you've got a soft spot for sweet, juicy fruits, don't worry, you've got better options. Watermelon, for example, might seem like it would be too sugary, but it's actually mostly water, and when eaten in moderation, it's incredibly hydrating. And that's something a lot of seniors need more of: hydration. As we age, our thirst signals aren't as strong, which means we can go longer without realizing we're dehydrated. Watermelon helps with that while delivering a dose of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that supports heart health and even prostate health for the gentleman watching. Just be careful with portion size. A big wedge is fine on a hot day, but don't sit down with half the melon. Keep it light and refreshing, and you'll be doing your body a favor. Now, let's switch gears and talk about a fruit you should absolutely eat more often. Avocado. Yes, it's technically a fruit, and no, it's not sweet like the others. But avocado deserves a top spot in your diet, especially if you're over 65. It's rich in healthy fats, particularly monounsaturated fats, which are fantastic for your heart and brain. Here's what's really interesting: studies show that eating avocado regularly can help maintain cognitive function as we age. That means better memory, quicker thinking, and less mental fog. It's also rich in potassium, even more than bananas, which helps regulate blood pressure. And because it's full of fiber, it helps keep your digestion smooth and steady. Don't think of avocado as just something to slap on toast, though that's a great option too. You can add it to salads, blend it into smoothies, or even eat it with a spoon and a pinch of salt. Simple, satisfying, and incredibly nourishing. Now, there's one more fruit on the be careful list that surprises a lot of people: oranges. Yes, the same fruit we've always been told is great for vitamin C. And while that part is true, there's another side of the story you should know. Oranges are very acidic, and for many seniors, that can trigger heartburn or acid reflux. If you're someone who struggles with GERD or takes medication for stomach acid, oranges, especially in juice form, can make things worse. Not to mention, orange juice is often marketed as a healthy drink, but it's basically a sugar bomb in a glass. 1 cup of orange juice can have as much sugar as a soda, and it doesn't contain the fiber you'd get from eating a whole orange. Now, if you're craving that citrus zing, but want something easier on the stomach and lower in sugar, try switching to berries, particularly raspberries and blackberries. These fruits are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and are much gentler on blood sugar levels. They also support your gut health, and as research continues to show, your gut and your brain are more connected than we ever realized. A healthy gut can mean a better mood, clearer thinking, and even stronger immunity. And speaking of fruit that fights back against aging, have you tried pomegranate lately? This is a super fruit that's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine. It's packed with antioxidants called polyphenols that help reduce inflammation, support joint health, and protect your heart. Now, I'll be honest, eating a pomegranate takes a little effort. You've got to get through the skin and scoop out those little red jewels. But it's worth it. And if you want an easier way, look for 100% pomegranate juice. Just a small glass, not a whole bottle, and make sure it's not loaded with added sugars. A few ounces a few times a week can go a long way. Let's not forget, every small choice we make with food is either moving us toward more vitality or slowly chipping away at it. The great thing about fruit is that when you choose the right ones, they can support your body in ways that medicine alone can't. They nourish, hydrate, heal, and energize. But when you pick the wrong ones, especially the overly sugary or acidic types, they can quietly undo a lot of the progress you're trying to make. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but your energy's still low, your joints still ache, or your blood sugar just won't stay where it should, the fruits you're eating might be part of the puzzle. And the good news is, it's an easy fix. You don't have to cut out fruit altogether. You just have to eat smarter, and I know you can do that. We've talked about some of the major do's and don'ts so far, but there's still one more fruit that might surprise you, and it could be the secret to improving your balance, strength, and even sleep as you age. That last fruit I mentioned, the one that can help with balance, strength, and even better, sleep? Believe it or not, it's cherries. Not the bright red ones you see on top of ice cream sundaes, but real cherries. Especially tart cherries, which are incredibly powerful for older adults. Tart cherries contain natural compounds called anthocyanins. These are the same antioxidants that give cherries their deep red color, and they've been studied for their anti-inflammatory effects. In fact, some studies have shown that tart cherry juice can help reduce muscle soreness, improve recovery after exercise, and even help with osteoarthritis pain. If your knees or hips have been bothering you more lately, cherries could offer some sweet relief, without turning to extra pills. But here's the part most people don't know. Tart cherries are one of the only natural sources of melatonin. Yes, the very same melatonin that helps you fall asleep. And as we age, our body produces less of it, which is why many older adults struggle with falling and staying asleep. A small serving of tart cherry juice in the evening has been shown to help improve sleep quality in older adults. It's gentle, it's natural, and it's tasty. Now, I know we've gone through quite a few fruits today, and it might feel like there's a lot to remember. But don't worry, you don't have to change everything overnight. Think of it like swapping out the wrong tools for the right ones. You wouldn't use a dull knife to cut a tomato, right? In the same way, you don't want to rely on sugary, high-acid fruits that work against your goals when there are better, kinder options that truly support your health. And speaking of support, let me just say this. Every step you take, and every change you're willing to consider, that's something to be proud of. You're not just aging, you're aging intentionally. That means something. Even being open to the idea that some of your longtime favorites might not be serving you anymore. That takes courage. Most people go their whole lives without questioning what's on their plate. But here you are learning, adjusting, and making choices that protect your body, your energy, your independence. So what now? Start by taking a look at what's in your fruit bowl, your fridge, and yes, even your shopping list. Are grapes or mangoes showing up a little too often? Could you trade in that orange juice for a bowl of blueberries or some sliced kiwi? Could you start the day with avocado toast instead of something sugary, and end it with a few sips of tart cherry juice instead of reaching for sleep meds? It's all about gentle, steady changes. No crash diets, no guilt trips, Just smarter swaps that keep your body running smoother, your mind sharper, and your days a little brighter. And here's something else to keep in mind. Fruit is meant to complement your diet, not dominate it. You don't need 5 servings a day if it's all high sugar options. Sometimes, 1 or 2 of the right fruits can do more for you than a whole fruit salad full of the wrong ones. Quality over quantity, every time. Now, someone might be watching and thinking, but I love my morning banana, or I snack on dried apricots when I get peckish. That's okay. Nobody's saying you have to eliminate your favorite foods forever. But what I am saying is, listen to your body. If your energy dips after you eat something, if your joints hurt more than they used to, or your sleep is more restless than restful, these are signs. Your body talks. And the food you choose every day either helps it heal, or makes it work harder than it needs to. That's why we don't just focus on what to cut out, we also highlight what to add in. Add in the fruits that love your body back. Berries for your brain. Kiwi for your gut. Avocados for your heart. Pomegranate for your joints. Cherries for your sleep. Each of these is like a little gift you're giving to your future self. You deserve to wake up feeling more refreshed. You deserve to have fewer aches, steadier energy, and the confidence that your food is helping, not hurting your progress. And if you've made it this far, that tells me one very important thing. You care. You're invested. You're not just sitting back and letting age happen to you, you're steering the ship. That mindset, that's powerful. That's what keeps people vibrant and full of life, no matter what the calendar says. So I want to encourage you to take action today. Open your fridge, check your pantry, read the labels, and be just a little more intentional with the fruits you choose. It's a simple step, but the benefits are real and long-lasting. And I'd love to hear from you. Are there any fruits you've stopped eating because they made you feel worse? Or maybe you've discovered a new favorite that helps you feel better than ever. Share it in the comments. Your story could help someone else make a positive change too. And if this video helped you in any way, if you learned something new, or you're inspired to take even one small step, give it a thumbs up. It lets us know that this kind of content matters to you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our senior health tips, uplifting stories, and simple ways to make your golden years the healthiest they can be. You've got a lot of life to live, and the good news is you're just getting started. Here's to stronger days, clearer minds, and delicious fruit that makes you feel your best. Because you absolutely deserve that.